There are two options for resetting volunteer hours for your organization. The first option is to customize the time period for milestones to reset progress towards requirements. This can be done by going to the settings page of your organizer dashboard and then going to Milestones. Under the section over what kind of time period, you can customize how frequently you want volunteers' progress towards requirements to reset back to 0. For example, if volunteers need to complete a certain number of hours each school year, you could customize the time period to reset every year on August 1st. From an administrative perspective, the only aspect of the site impacted by a milestone time period is going to be the milestone summary report. When you access the report, you will see how many volunteers have completed the requirement for the current time frame. However, you have the option to navigate to past time frames to view how many volunteers completed the requirement during the last reporting cycle. If you go to the Volunteers page of your organizer dashboard, you will see a running total of hours per volunteer on the summary list. This includes hours that were logged outside of your current reporting cycle. From the volunteer's perspective, when they visit their account, they will see the current time frame based on your milestone time period. Once again, though, they have the option to navigate back to past time periods to see hours that were submitted last year and to confirm that their requirement was completed. The other option for organizations is to manually reset the start date. This can be done by going to the Settings page of your organizer dashboard and then going to More Settings. Under the Other Configurations tab, you will see an option to set the start date for your organization. If you update the start date for your organization, any hours that were logged prior to that date will be hidden from view. This is the best option for organizations that prefer to start with a clean slate. From an administrative perspective, the total hours that you see on the Volunteers page will only include hours that were logged after the start date you've selected. If you view a specific volunteer's timesheet, it will be broken down into two parts. The first part will be the current hours that were logged after the start date. The second part will be all historical hours that occurred prior to the current start date you've selected. From the volunteer's perspective, when they go to their timesheet, they will see the current reporting cycle. They will not have the option to navigate back to a time period that occurred before the start date on your site. For volunteers, they will need to use the Export All Your Hours Over All Time function to get a spreadsheet version of any historical hours that they've logged. As the administrator, you can choose which option works best for you based on how much data you want visible on your site.